After months of remaining silent, WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert has finally addressed the controversy that's overshadowed the women's basketball season. The alleged mistreatment of rookie sensation Caitlin Clark and what she had to say may leave you stunned. Before we get into the commissioner's response, let's take a moment to understand the broader situation. This isn't just a sports story anymore. It's about the future of the WNBA, how it handles its rising stars, and a controversy that's been gaining intensity week after week. Imagine this. You're the most hyped rookie the league has seen. In years, you've shattered college records, drawn millions of new fans to the sport, and helped skyrocket TV ratings by over 200%. You'd think the league would be rallying around you. Instead, Caitlin Clark has become one of the most physically targeted players in recent memory, and the WNBA stayed silent for far too long. Let's look at the facts. Clark has already missed 14 out of 27 games this season, more than half. She's dealing with multiple injuries, strains in both groin muscles and her left quad. For someone who didn't miss a single college game, this sudden string of injuries raises serious concerns. Something's off, and many believe it's not just bad luck. What's even more disturbing is how some of these injuries happened. Several weren't just tough plays, they looked like deliberate attempts to hurt her. Take the infamous incident on June 1, 2024. Chicago Sky's Chennedy Carter appeared to shoulder-check Clark completely off the ball, a hit that many called flat-out assault, broadcast live. The reaction? Initially, the league called it a basic foul. It wasn't until public outrage grew that they upgraded it to a flagrant one. Making matters worse, footage showed Angel Reese on the bench reacting with celebration, not concern. But that wasn't an isolated event. Throughout the season, other players like Marina Mabrey have been accused of rough play that goes beyond acceptable competition. From hard hits after the whistle to trash talk that pushes boundaries, many believe Clark has been specifically targeted. The tipping point may have come on July 15, 2025. During a matchup with the Connecticut Sun, Clark was knocked to the floor again, in what many described as a chaotic, overly aggressive game. At this point, it's hard to argue that this is just standard basketball. Critics say it's a league problem, a lack of control and accountability that's allowed harassment to grow unchecked. Then finally, after months of not addressing the issue, Commissioner Engelbert spoke to the Daily Mail, but her comments only raised more eyebrows. "I know there's a perception of bullying," she said. A perception? For many fans and analysts, that phrasing missed the mark entirely. These aren't just perceptions, they're documented, repeated incidents. This is a player who has lost over half her season to questionable injuries, often following aggressive contact. And instead of condemning this trend, Engelbert seemed to normalize it by saying, "It's not just Caitlin, everybody's getting bumped." And that's where many believe the commissioner truly lost the narrative. Targeting that Caitlin Clark is enduring? No other rookie in league history has dealt with this level of aggressive contact, game after game. What Clark is experiencing isn't typical, it's targeted and it's relentless. And unfortunately, this isn't the first time Commissioner Engelbert has dropped the ball during a critical moment. Let's rewind to September 2024. That was when she completely mishandled the league's response to a wave of racist and misogynistic abuse aimed at WNBA athletes, especially black players. When asked to address the growing hostility from some fans instead of condemning the abuse outright, Engelbert chose to focus on the passion of rivalries, sidestepping the deeper issue. The backlash was swift. The WNBA Players Association publicly criticized her response, and Engelbert eventually issued a formal apology, saying, "My answer missed the mark, and I'm sorry, but this wasn't a one-off mistake." It revealed a troubling pattern. A commissioner who reacts only after public outrage forces her hand. Her leadership isn't proactive, it's damage control. While Engelbert has fumbled interviews and offered late apologies, the real damage has already taken its toll, especially on Caitlin Clark. Clark, once known for her Ironman durability, in college is now sidelined more than she plays. She's missed over half of her second season due to injuries, all suspiciously aligned with heavy repeated contact. A left quad strain took her out for 5 games. A groin injury cost her another 5. Now, a right side groin strain has her sidelined yet again, with no clear return date. Meanwhile, the league's reliance on Clark has only grown. When she doesn't, ratings drop. The 2025 All-Star Game is a perfect example. A 36% decline in viewers compared to 2024. A loss of over 1 million fans simply because Clark wasn't on the court. Her impact is impossible to ignore. Since her arrival, attendance is up 48%. National broadcasts have more than doubled from just 80 games to over 200. Merchandise sales are off the charts. She's brought an entirely new wave of fans into the fold. and yet the league has done next to nothing to protect her. But Clark's experience is just one. Engelbert finally acknowledged what players and fans have been saying for months: the level of abuse aimed at women athletes has become truly alarming. Players are receiving death threats, some are being stalked at home. Deepfakes and generated content are being used to harass them. In one shocking case, sex toys were even thrown onto the court during a game. As a result, some players have deleted social media accounts or dramatically reduced public appearances, just to protect their mental health. The league has also failed to address the complicated racial dynamics. This controversy has exposed Clark. Herself has spoken out, acknowledging how her identity as a white player has contributed to her visibility in public treatment. She's condemned those who use her name to launch racist or sexist attacks on her black peers. Yet, even in the face of that awareness, the WNBA's response has been lackluster at best. Rather than taking action before things spiraled, the league waited. Only after the pressure became unbearable did they implement key protections: additional game security, tech to filter abusive messages, mental health resources, and conduct monitoring. These should have been standard from day one, not crisis mode reactions after serious harm was already done. At this point, even the WNBPA has made it clear the players have lost confidence in league leadership. The frustration is palpable and the message is clear: the league needs bold, proactive leadership, not more apologies after the fact. Terry Jackson, executive director of the WNBPA, didn't hold back in her criticism. In a sharply worded statement, she said her message is clear: the league expects its athletes to be public-facing ambassadors, but fails to safeguard them from the backlash that visibility brings. And this isn't just about Caitlin Clark, or even the WNBA. What we're witnessing is a major turning point. A case study in how modern sports leagues deal with sudden growth, cultural shifts, and the responsibility of protecting athletes in a hyper-connected, often hostile digital world. Right now, the WNBA is growing faster than ever. Viewership is at an all-time high. Game attendance is breaking records. International opportunities are on the horizon. But there's a serious problem at the heart of all this success: the league's inability to properly protect its players, physically, mentally, and emotionally, is putting everything at risk, and nowhere is that vulnerability clearer than in the league's reliance on Caitlin Clark. The WNBA has put enormous weight on her shoulders, sponsorships and growth narrative almost entirely around her. But they've failed to create structures that protect that investment, or develop other stars to share the spotlight. The result? When Clark goes down, the entire league feels the impact economically and culturally. This model simply isn't sustainable. Here's the bottom line, and it's a truth the league can't afford to ignore. If Caitlin Clark is lost to injury, burnout, or worse, the ripple effect will be devastating. She's not just a player, she's the primary driver of revenue, viewership, and public interest. Her presence boosts every team, every network, every sponsor, and every fan's connection to the game. Right now, women's basketball stands at a crossroads. It has unprecedented momentum, serious investment interest, and a once-in-a-opportunity to go mainstream, but these moments don't last forever. If the WNBA fails to protect the very star that brought this spotlight, if it allows the system around her to collapse, this golden era could end before it ever fully begins.